Hi, this is EUNICE with Desert Sanctuary here in Barstow, California, and I'm here to share with you what inspired me to do Up Sister workshop. There were a few things that inspired me to do it. One was a poem that I received when I was going through a really hard time in my life. I had lost my son. He passed away when he was 18 years old. He had injuries from a car accident he passed away from, and it was really, really painful. And so my sister had sent me a poem, and it was called Up Sister, and it really was helpful. I was so thankful for that poem, and I thought to myself, one day I'm going to use this to help other ladies. So when the opportunity to do a workshop for women of color was presented to me by Window Between Worlds, I immediately thought of that poem, and I began to put together a workshop that was pretty helpful, I think. It had a lot of different components to it. One was the actual reading of the poem, and having your participants share any part of the poem that really stuck out to them, that really spoke to their heart. And then there's a worksheet. There's also a worksheet where they can actually write down some of the things that women of color face. Then there's the music. You really need to have some really good music on. I found too that I got so excited about this workshop that I added all these components, and you might not have time to do all of them, but you can adjust them to whatever your need is. And so I wanted to also share with you that I love head wraps. I do, and so I wanted to incorporate that into the workshop. And just to give you a little bit of history about head wraps, in our history, in slavery days, many of the slave owners would have their women wear head wraps to identify them. There were many slaves that could pass for white, or they were mulatto, or which actually just means that they were mixed race. And so and they could pass for white, so they had them wear head wraps to identify their slaves. But they didn't know that in Africa, to wear a head wrap was a place of dignity and honor, and it identified women, whether they were married or mothers or grandmothers. And even today, the head wraps are used for women to express their individuality and their artistic style. So it was kind of flipped, and I love head wraps. So I incorporated that into the workshop as well, and you can use it any way you like. Also, I think a really good tip would be that you just adjust it to your audience. Everybody's different. For my first Up Sister workshop that I did, I was so excited that I put too much stuff out. I put too much stuff out. You don't have to put so much out. You can just, just kind of feel whatever materials you have. You can just use whatever you have, and the ladies will, or whoever does the workshop will make it their own, and it's pretty simple. Don't get too caught up in all the specifics, because I'm kind of like that. I do that. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope it was helpful to you, and I look forward to doing more with the Window Between Worlds and workshops. And have a great group when you do your workshop. Bye.